Sarah K Ramsey, and going live on finding love and success after a toxic relationship. And if you hear any background noise, that is the ocean. You kind of see it. I put it where you can kind of see the reflection in the mirror of the ocean. It's actually in front of me. That's the reflection. Because I thought if we were going to be quarantined for the coronavirus, I wanted to be quarantined somewhere with you. So we have a house at the ocean as well, and so that's where I am coming live to you from. And I wanted to answer the question. There's maybe planes going overhead too. Do toxic people know what they are doing? This is a huge question that I get very often. And do they know what they're doing? Are they doing this on purpose? Is this just who they are and they can't help it? Is it a mental illness? Is there a pill for it? You know, all that kind of stuff. And the question is, that can definitely differ from situation to situation, but here is how you know. Do they do it in front of other people? Okay? Do they do it in front of other people? Because most toxic people, it is about control. Hi, Sylvia. Most toxic people, it is about control. Okay? Now, they may want to get out of their version of control, may be avoiding responsibility. If you have, oh my gosh, there's the most hilarious thing. What was it called? Like a hobosexual, which is like hilarious. But a hobosexual, which is like a man who finds people to sleep with to have somewhere to live, like a hobosexual. I cracked up on that one. So sometimes you have people like that who, or it can be toxic mothers can do this. They want to avoid responsibility and be the victim, and so they want their kids to take care of them and do everything for them. But sometimes you also have the flip side of that, which, and these are typically males, sometimes females, but they want control. They want to be the voice of your life. They want to be the voice of your life instead of you being the voice of your life, okay? And so they almost play God. Right? They know what you should do. They know who you should be. They know what you should say. They know the right things. And if you don't accept their voice as God, they get angry. Okay? Because things such as, it smells so good out here, by the way. I'm like, oh, salivating. Things such as if there's been any type of violence, any type of scare tactics, like throwing stuff, any type of threats, like no one else will believe you, or no one else would ever want you, okay? Because they all say the same thing. They all say the same thing. Lundy Bancroft said it was like they all went to school to learn how to do the same thing, and the same thing is to get you to focus on them instead of you, and for their voice to become bigger than your voice in your life. Or for like the homosexual, for their needs and what they need to be more important than what you need. So you focus on taking care of them rather than taking care of yourself. Or you focus on pleasing them rather than pleasing yourself. So when they pull any type of moves or scare tactics or manipulation, or they try to be a jerk, are they doing it in public, or are they only doing it in private? Because if they are only doing it, hey Brenda, hi. If they are only doing it in private, then they absolutely know what they are doing. If they know how to who they can get away with saying things in front of, and who they would never say things in front of, then yes, they absolutely know what they are doing. Sometimes people are just a bit of a mess, and they'll do things in public, and you know, that's almost like I describe it as, you know, maybe the homeless person who's out and they say, oh, the sky is falling. You just think, oh gosh, you've had so many issues, and that you've kind of fallen so far that you don't even recognize the craziness that you say, okay? Most toxic people aren't that way. They know exactly who to say it in front of and exactly who not to say it in front of, to stay out of trouble and keep that image up. It could be the image of the victim that needs help, or it could be that image of the hero who wants to be worshipped, okay? But it's like that whole Jekyll and Hyde move. One person in public, another person in private. And that is how you know if they know what they are doing. Because if they didn't know what they were doing, then they would they would be consistent everywhere they were. But if they only turn on the control, turn on the anger, turn on the frustration, turn on the victimhood, turn it on in certain situations, then yes, they absolutely know what they were doing, and what they are doing is manipulating you and getting you to fall into line, getting you to do what they want you to do, right? Rather than listening to your own voice, listening to your own soul, listening to your own heart. And so often when I get on the phone with women, they say, I have forgotten who I am. I've forgotten who I am. Because it's like a radio station where the toxic person's voice has been turned up. And you don't know how to change the channel. And that could be a parent, that could be a boss, that could be a partner. But their voice, their song is playing so loudly in your head, and you don't know how to change the station. And so when you don't know how to change the station, they become the song of your life. And that can happen even after you move away from a parent. That can happen even after you break up with a partner. Because you've had so much practice trying to please them instead of learning what it means to please yourself. And not learning what it means to please yourself in a selfish way. I talk all the time in my Wondrous Woman group. We had a Q&A about this recently. And I talked about the Happiness Project. And in the Happiness Project, Gretchen Rubin was going on this quest to figure out what it takes to make us happy. And she felt so selfish. She was like, oh, what a privileged situation I'm in that I can explore happiness in this way. But she realized that happiness was a gift to others. Being happy was a gift to others. You know, we all want happy mothers, right? Like when we were a little baby and we had a hard day, we didn't want a mother that was impatient and cranky and tired and exhausted. We want a mother who had the patience and kindness and grace and the space left over at the end of the day to kiss our boo-boos and rock us and hold us and make us better. We want to remember our mothers laughing, not, oh God, please, I just need a nap, you know, not crying. We want to remember our, you know, maybe our siblings or our teachers as kids. Like think about as kids, like the adults in your life. Was your life better because they were more unhappy? Of course not. And that's equally true for the people in your life, whether they be kids, whether they be coworkers, whether if it's you know, you have a toxic parent, but you want to have a better relationship with your spouse. You know, people want